Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've got a decent sized haul. We've already made it through this week's Batman books. Now it's time to move on to this week's Absolute Power tie-ins, and as well as an Elseworlds book. Kicking things off, we've got Superman number 17. So this largely takes place during the events of number 16. This largely takes place during the events of Absolute Power number 1, with interspersed with flashbacks to Clark's youth. Apparently, Clark had an interest in magic, and got a book called How to Do Magic for Kids. Try to do a basically put on a magic show for Ma and Pa Kent. Try to do a card trick. And he's remembering all this while surgery is being performed on him after his gunshot wound back in Absolute Power, which Mr. Terrific and Dr. Midnight are the ones trying to save him. They have a kryptonite scalpel, but Dr. Midnight is wondering if it's really all that necessary anymore, because if Clark's no longer the Man of Steel, well, yeah. And apparently and Zatanna's magic is no longer working, as as Waller's troops are looking for her and find her. However, Bruce taught her how to throw a punch and other self-defense tactics, but Zatanna is saved by Mercy Graves on behalf of Supercorp, and they're headed to the Fortress of Solitude. But things are... It looks like tempers are flaring. With Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, mostly Blue Beetle arguing with Red Tornado, while Booster Gold tries to hold Ted back. Among those in the fortress are Starfire, Beast Boy, Raven, I think that's Atom Smasher, Nightwing, Batgirl, Cass, Black Canary, Zealot, and can't necessarily tell who else is there, so yeah. But Superman's the surgery's been performed on Superman, and he's and it's completed, and he manages to calm everyone down. But Mr. Terrific and Dr. Midnight have had him made a point of having him in his recovery suit, the black costume that he wore when he returned from the dead. And Mercy states that she tried to get she tried to get all of the superheroes, but the Amazo was too much. Or she tried to get John Kent and Connell, but the Amazo was too much, and she had to make a call, so she saved Clark. And Clark is understanding, and Zatanna has an idea, a way to get the upper hand on Waller, but it involves magic. Namely, dark roads, passages that are nearly invisible to everyone. You don't have to have magical abilities to traverse them. Normally people get pulled into them all the time. You hear stories about haunted streets, crossroads. The point is that they can use them to teleport people and to operate in the shadows. But they'll need to find the map of Mordred first. But Superman is going to have to get involved with this because the dark roads respond to certain things. Death is a big one, and seeing as how Superman died once before and was knocking on death's door not too long ago. But Mercy goes back to save who she can. But she has a mission, but Superman has a mission for her that's top secret. Finding someone for her. At Metropolis, at the Supercorp building, formerly LexCorp, Jimmy Olsen, Silver Banshee, I guess Lena Luthor, and Lex Luthor, who is amnesic. Or, well, generally amnesic, are hiding out in the remains of Supercorp headquarters. It took a beating after Brainiac's invasion, but apparently Lex did something noble for a change and got his mind wiped in the process. But he gets images of things, but that's it. But Lena says that she thinks she can try and find a way to get an encrypted distress call. Though apparently one of Lex's armors is missing. However, that's when Peacemaker and his goons show up, seemingly about to execute. They're going to take in Lex and probably kill Jimmy, but Lois, in one of presumably Lex's suits, the missing one, saves the day and tells everyone to armor up because they're at war. And that is where the issue ends. I gotta say, I thought this was an issue of the currently running Zatanna Black Label series, but oh well, that comes up next week after. Anyways, moving on to our next book, we've got Wonder Woman number 11. So, this is also occurring during the events of Absolute Power. Now, we got some hints about what happens in this issue in Task Force 7. last week. But the issue opens with at the Watergate Hotel with Justice League Dark playing cards. Billy Batson and Billy and Mary are in their child forms. But Constantine goes outside to have a cigarette, but one of the Amazos attacks and seemingly steals John's power. And so Captain Marvel and Mary Marvel marvel up, and the Spectre becomes God, God's vengeance. But the Amazo transports Captain Marvel to Paris, knocking him into the Eiffel Tower. He's also speaking weirdly. The Spectre goes after him, but the Amazo, and Wonder Woman realizes that it's an Amazo, but she tells Spectre not to touch it, but it's too late. Then Mary gets a few hits in before Wonder Woman pulls her back, basically, and confronts Amazo, basically saying that to keep his hands to himself. But the Amazo takes out Wonder Woman with a blast of mystical flame, and also absorbs Xanadu's magic. Takes a heaping helping of Captain Marvel and Mary Marvel's lightning, while also still continuing to burn Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman sends Billy and Mary away, and takes Detective Chimp's magic, making him just a chimp. And that is where the issue ends. Which we know what happened with Billy and Mary. Backup story: the World's Finest Story continues with the Children of the Trinity. They are at a Black Canary concert. Apparently, Trinity is a fan. Is a canary, and Damien's giving her grief about the whole thing, but once Dinah starts singing, he gets it, and yeah, he becomes a canary. A month later, they're Superman, Robin, and Trinity are facing off against Mongol, while Trinity and Robin are discussing stuff, Canary fan stuff, but Superman is focusing on Mongol and states that don't worry about them, they're canaries, but apparently Mongol is too. And they share theories, and that is where the story ends. Okay, that was fun. Moving on though to our last book for the moment, we've got Dark Knights of Steel, Allwinter, #1. Dark Knights of Steel was an Elseworlds miniseries a couple years ago, set in a medieval fantasy style type world with populated by basically medieval fantasy versions of DC characters. Uh, there was the House of L, who raised who had raised Bruce Wayne, um, the son of the previous lords, son of the previous lord and lady, um, and had raised Bruce alongside their son Cal and their daughter Zala. You had the King, you had Jefferson Air, not Jefferson Airplane. You had Jefferson Pierce, the King Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning, and his son and daughter. You had the Amazons. Lots of intrigue. It was it can be compared favorably to at least early Game of Thrones. So yeah. Anyways, for all the DC characters that were featured in Dark Knights of Steel, there were just as many who weren't. This series focuses upon one of them, Deathstroke. And so, Deathstroke is, well, a mercenary fighting in the service of basically Vandal Savage. But he just wants his payment, and he's also got he just wants his payment for fighting. But Savage basically says, "Hey, there's a monster that a Draugr from the pits of hell who means to unmake that all savages made." And so Slade simply states how much. Though the leader of this hunt is Savage's right hand, Killer Frost. They deal with a sea monster along the way, but Slade opts to be swallowed by it and cut his way out of the monster. They make it to the temple where the Great Witch waits, and that witch turns out to be Adeline Kane, Slade's wife. However, that's not who Vandal Savage is worried about. Rather, she's worried about Adeline's son, Jericho. But that is where this story ends, or for the moment. There's also we get a backup, Heir to the Sea. Jonathan and Martha Kent are fighting for the Kingdom of El. This is 25 years before the Battle of the Three Armies. Among the soldiers that are in their band is Amanda Waller, as well as James Gordon. Waller heralds Kent's as heroes, and apparently known as the Cleavers of Rothfuss. But in the kingdom of Lemuria, the emperor is displeased with the fact that a prisoner has escaped. A woman. The Emperor Manta. That is where the issue ends. And that is going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.